Hey guys, it's your girl Tubbi of the Nerdy Bird site, rocking with the antidote.com, bringing you yet another live exclusive right here from the parlor in Baton Rouge.
And I'm your homie, Yung Gwop, holding it down with the antidote.com today.
I know that's right. But boy, I took the time to come visit us all the way from New Orleans, cleared his schedule out so that he was able to come sit down and chat with us. He's going to give us the opportunity to pick his brain, find out who he is, when he started music, and why it's such a prevalent part in his life. Now, I know that family-wise, music has been very big for you.
Yes.
Let's kind of start there between granddad and your uncles. How did you kind of come into the music scene?
Well, it actually started a little earlier than that, but that kind of helped. Like,
okay.
My big sister actually played a big part in my like music development. Like, we used to do these little small talent shows at the house, and that kind of like prepped me to be ready to perform. So when I got around my grandfather, he was a jazz musician, used to be with Fats Domino and all them. I just was around the music, hearing it
very nice
in the studio, etc. So it kind of like just grew on me.
Very nice. So big sister was that figure at home. She kind of made music a comfortable thing for you. It was like an everyday part of life.
Yeah.
Then you get next to grandpa. Grandpa is actually there with Fats Domino. He's hands-on in the jazz industry, and when you think about jazz in New Orleans, it was one of the first signature sounds that was really accepted in the culture. So I think that's really big to have that influence as well. But then your uncle, we can't forget about your uncle. Your uncle being just a performer.
Yeah, he's actually he been masking Indian, Mardi Gras Indian. If y'all familiar with Fat Tuesday, Carnival, whatever y'all want to call it. I've been following him since I'm 33, so I've been following him since I've been little. He been masking about 30 years. So
30 plus years. Yeah, uncle was a performer too.
And even behind the Mardi Gras Indian, they got somebody playing the drums, and the Indians are slick side rap singing, so it's like all coincide with the music.
Awesome. So just being from New Orleans, that culture again was embedded in who you are.
Righteous.
Now, once you come into that point where you're not even looking at music in a serious manner yet, it's just something that's a part of you. At what point did you go, okay, I want to be an artist. This is what I'm going to do. This is who I am.
It kind of started when I got in like junior high.
Nice.
Like, we used to rap at lunchtime at school.
Beating on the table with the pencils.
Beating on the table. I used to get put out the classroom, all that. So then we took it to the playground, to the play area, and started beating on the garbage cans and all that stuff. And I saw that I could draw a crowd, so I just was like, I'm about to start doing this.
This is for me.
Yeah, this is for me. This is me.
Now, Yung Gwop, let's kind of talk about the history behind the name. I know that granddad gave you a couple of different nicknames. Is it Burger? Burger correct Man. Me. Burger Man.
My grandfather's name was actually Burger Man, but
nice.
my mom and them used to call me Wimpy. You remember Wimpy from McDonald's?
Yep.
He used to eat the burgers. I always liked burgers. So, I kind of developed the nickname Burger Man from my grandfather.
Oh, that's very awesome to keep that culture and that heritage going.
Yeah.
Now, transitioning from that family-oriented nickname, how did Yung Gwop kind of come into play as an artist name?
It was around the time, like, it had to be about 05. People wasn't really saying guap like that.
Right.
It was another word for money, so I didn't want to call myself Young Money, so I was like, let me call myself Gwop. And then I ran into a deacon, and he was like, he broke my name down into acronyms, and he was like,
nice.
You God's weapon of power. So I kind of like been stuck with that.
Wait. Run that back. That's really fresh.
Yeah,
one more time.
God's weapon of power, Gwop.
That is very dope.
So I just stuck with the whole Gwop thing. I let people think what they think it is.
Right.
I know what it is for me.
And I think that's important too. A lot of times, culturally speaking, like you said, coming from New Orleans, you don't want to come off like you're biting the Young Money scene.
Right.
But for a man of God to actually look at you and go, okay, you're ordained to do this, and this is why. Yeah. And for him to put so much power behind your name, I can only assume that drives the passion.
What? Yeah, I'm very God-fearing, so all that is a part.
That's really awesome. Now, college-wise, you actually attended Jackson State.
Yeah, I attended Jackson State University from 2000 to 03.
Very nice. Now, in your experiences out there, you did run into a couple of opportunities where you were allowed to shine in your musical aspect.
Yeah.
Being a part of the BET College Tour, they kind of come to the historically black colleges.
You know how they go around in all the South, all the HBCUs, and they came there. And all my friends was like, man, because I used to win all the talent shows in college. So they used to be like, man, you need to go do the battle thing. And they had this one dude named Jada. He was like real good from Chicago. So I was a little nervous. I was like, you know.
I'm not sure.
And man, I went up there and killed it and won. And Def Jam offered me a deal and all that. But I wanted to finish school. So, you know, I didn't even go any further with that.
Now, let's kind of talk about that, because a lot of people would kind of look at that opportunity and be like, what? School will always be there? What you mean?
Yeah.
What was the drive and the passion behind knowing that music would always be there, but school was, you know, an important thing?
I mean, music is timeless. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got records from 5 years ago that still sound current today. So I just feel like my time will never be limited. Even if I wasn't to be a rapper, I can be a ghostwriter, I can write jingles, I can do whatever, you know, involving music. So I just wanted to take that opportunity to stay in college and go for my, you know, my degree in business administration, so I can know how to handle business when it's time to handle business.
Right, and I think that's important too. A lot of artists kind of just feed off of the actual music itself or the artistry, and they don't realize how important it is to have that business foundation, to understand contracts, to be able to delegate LLCs and to own copyrights for music and things like that. So I respect you in regards to being able to say, I know this is the opportunity of a lifetime, but with my degree, I'd be able to create that opportunity on my own.
And at that time, I probably would have got messed over in a deal because I didn't really know the literature of what I was reading and dealing with, and so, you know, it was kind of a fear factor and the point I wanted to stay in college and finish.
Very nice. Now, I know you've released a lot of projects coming over the years, and we can talk about a few of those, and then we'll kind of get into the new project that's recently been released. So far as some of your older projects, first of all, tell everybody where they can kind of link in to catch up with those projects.
Y'all can go on datpiff.com. I don't know if y'all familiar with that, but it's datpiff.com. And I have about 13 projects on there. I actually dropped 12 mixtapes in one year in 2012. So I have 13 projects on there. I also have some music from my album that I dropped 2 years ago called EAT, Evil and Truth. I broke it down in acronyms. You can go on SoundCloud. My SoundCloud is Yung Gwop.
Very nice.
And hear some of that.
Now let's kind of talk about this. That's a very bold goal setting to accomplish, to be able to drop 12 mixtapes in a year.
Yeah,
you're looking at a mixtape every month. Like, what inspired that, and how was that process?
I'm gonna tell you, I was at a place in my life where I felt like I had so much crammed in my brain.
Right.
I had to get it all out, and at that time I was single. I ain't had no woman bothering me, so I was like just glued in the studio. I was dropping like 10 songs a month. That was 120 songs in 1 year.
Very nice.
That wasn't including my features and all that other stuff. So I just was working, and I record and drop it. You know what I'm saying?
Now, knowing that those projects, it wasn't like somebody came up to you like, hey, yo, I think this would be a great thing for us to push these 12 projects. It was more of a natural, like, let me get some of this stuff out of my head. Let me go ahead on and lay the foundation so the people can know who I am. Now, with those 12 mixtapes, is there a similarity that links them, or is everything kind of different? Do viewers get a different sound from Yung Gwop throughout those mixtapes?
Most of them was kind of similar, but some of them I was experimenting. Like,
gotcha.
I was really trying to find like the sound that was most comfortable for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know how you'll hear something, you'll be like, oh, he sound like this person from New Orleans, or that. So I just was doing a lot of music to say where I feel more comfortable, like where I'm more stronger, and that's what I kind of was doing.
So with those 12 mixtapes, you were able to find the authentic sound for Yung Gwop.
I'm able to find my signature coming. You know how Mystical had an
right.
all that. I found my signature coming and all of that. So
that's very, very nice. Now, if you had to list any specific artists or producers that inspired you outside of family, who are some of those artists that kind of help play a role in who Yung Gwop is today?
Fireman, my partner.
Nice.
That's who started making my first beats. He inspired me. A lot of artists in the industry, Manny Fresh, Tupac, Nas, Jay-Z, you know, the list goes on and on. Like, I pull references from all of those guys, so all of them inspire me. Hip-hop, period, inspires me. R&B, whatever. Like,
whatever musical aspects are actually touching at the time.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Now, production-wise, being from New Orleans, being able to kind of travel throughout the southern states, are there any producers that you've worked closely with that you find to be just like they help you generate your niche when it comes to your music?
Out of town?
Just period. Out of town, in town.
One of my friends, Nell, Beats by Nell.
Okay.
He's a great producer. Coney, a plethora of them in New Orleans that I deal with. Like, all of us kind of feed off of each other.
Very
You know
nice.
what I'm saying?
Very
So
nice.
the energy always good when I'm dealing with those guys, so I always can feed off.
And back and forth, and I think that's important. A lot of times you do have a lot of producers that have quality music, but they don't inspire you to kind of make that lyrical content that's important to you.
Especially when I hear like Fireman or Nell. Like, I just got some beats from my friend Young C too.
Okay.
Another artist. And when I hear those guys' beats, I be like, what I need to get stuff out the industry for, and they making stuff this good.
Pure,
So,
like this authentic.
Yeah, so
That's what's up. I think that's very dope to have a signature sound where you're
Yeah.
able to kind of go, this is for me, this helps me generate my ideals. Now, Yung Gwop as an artist, if you had to say that you make a specific type of music, what kind of music would that be?
I'm not gonna say I have a specific type of music, but I'm more of on the lines of empowering the plus side community. Yeah, I really like.
I like
I'm
that.
Really
I like
on
that.
Like, you can be confident, you can be sexy, you can be strong, you can be all that, and be a plus size person.
Right.
You know, that's my whole aim, for another plus size person to see me and be like, dude got confidence, I can have.
Yeah, that's fresh. That's fresh. And it's important. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of my viewers have known me to be kind of slim, but my nickname is Tubbi. We can assume that it wasn't always like
You was
that.
chubby when you was young.
Yeah, like even
Yeah,
playing
baby
ball.
fat.
Yeah, not even that. Like playing ball, I was 180. Like I was
Oh,
a center, but I wasn't the tallest person on the court. But I
Okay.
played like I was. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I understand the transitions, and I understand the importance of having confidence, not only in your music but in your person. And I think that's
Right.
a really dope concept to let other individuals know. Hey, you don't have to be a size 2, or you don't have to be, this guy with all these abs to be comfortable
Yeah,
within
I'm-
yourself.
I'm sexy.
See,
I don't care what they talk
the term
about.
"big sexy" is
Yeah,
real, man.
I'm sexy, man, for real. It kind of make me a little. It be funny to me, like when girls see me sometimes, and they be like, "You cute for a big boy." Like, why I just can't be cute?
Why I can't be cute? Like,
I
why
gotta
can't
be
just be
cute
fresh?
for a big boy. Like, that's crazy. So it's all good.
Stereotypically speaking, but
Yeah.
y'all know big boys, they coming. Don't
we in
sleep on
style.
them.
We in
Don't
style.
sleep on
Yeah,
them.
we in style.
I don't know
We in
too many
style.
girls that hasn't had a cuddle buddy up in the bigger
We in
sizes. You know what I'm
style.
saying?
Look, you need it. But
I know that's right. I know
For
that's
real.
right. Now, coming into the new project, it released already?
No, it didn't release yet.
Okay.
We still working.
Like I said, keep me straight, keep me straight.
Yeah, we still pumping the motor, but Eat is out right now.
Okay.
So y'all can look for that on all your social media outlets, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, all those different places you can go to.
Very nice. Now, with Eat, are there any specific features that you have on there? Is it more of a solo project?
No, I have some people on there. I have one of my friends, Rod Ferrier. I have Kaya. I
Nice.
have what's this guy name? Big Will. Free him. He incarcerated right now. Just a lot of locals from our city. I have
Very
on.
nice, very nice.
Yeah.
And I think that's important too, to keep the culture in a standard as well, being able to provide a variety that comes from your city.
Yeah.
It shows all of the different aspects of New Orleans.
Yeah.
A lot of people hear the term New Orleans and they automatically think jazz, they think blues, or even nowadays they think bounce before they think hip hop.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to have those hip hop figures that are able to say, hey, I was exposed to jazz, I was exposed to blues, I'm
Right.
exposed to bounce, but this is the culture of here and now.
Yeah.
So with the project Eat, you do have a couple of features. Are there any specific producers, or is it one producer?
Nell produced Beats by Nell. He produced about 89% of my album. I got like 3 other tracks from one of my guys in California.
Very nice.
Gino Boss. So that was the main, because I was working with him like hand in hand. But
Gotcha.
it's so many different sounds you wouldn't even think he made all of
Those beats. And like I said, with production work, that's an important thing,
Yeah.
to be able to create a variety of sounds where the whole project doesn't just sound
Yeah.
like an ongoing continuation
Yeah.
of the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, storytelling wise, from the couple of tracks that I got an opportunity to listen to, you make it your prime investment to actually tell a story. A lot of times with music, you get the same topics of discussion: clubs, girls, money, drugs. You kind of take the time to invest in your story. You let people know what you see and how you feel. Is that something, again, that comes naturally when you sit down and write, or is it more just like free verse? It's poetry for you?
It's kind of both. Like, it's kind of therapeutic at the same time, too. So, I kind of use my pen and my vision to give people a point of view that I see. Because we can look at that chair and see two different things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just try to let people inside my brain as much as I can, And
that's important too. Again, I think in the dynamics of New Orleans, culturally speaking, there is a higher tolerance in violence, but there's violence everywhere. So I'm not pinpointing it like New Orleans is just so bad. It's up there, you know what I'm saying?
Boy.
So being able to have a positive outlook, knowing that you come from certain circumstances, like I know you're a single mom.
Yeah.
Mom was there in the forefront, kind of making sure that everything was everything, knowing that the surrounding wasn't the best, just being in the city.
Yeah, we out the slums, and my mama was her, so it was like mama and dad at the same time. Yeah.
So you kind of got that 8-ball effect from both ways.
Yeah. And my dad, he was in the streets, but he wasn't in my life. So
gotcha.
I kind of like naturally picked that up. You know what I'm saying?
So do you have any kids?
No, I don't.
He said, see, no, I'm just big sexy right now. I don't have any kids.
No.
And the only reason why I ask is because I like to ask artists that do have kids how they kind of juggle the two. So
I do have a kid that I'm raising with the girl that I'm with. I don't have a biological kid.
Look, for me, it doesn't matter. If you influence the life of a child, I don't use the term stepchild or whatever. Like, if he or she looks up to you as a father figure, that's your child. So knowing that you do have that younger generation looking up to you, Yung Gwop, and they are inspired by you, how do you kind of juggle the lifestyle between being an artist and being that positive influence?
It's hard. Like, I never knew it was so hard to raise a child.
It is.
Oh my good. Like, really being hands-on, like homework, basketball practice, volleyball practice, all that stuff. Like, it's time consuming, and you have to learn how to divide your time to be able to do everything. And sometimes, it's frustrating because things happen and it messes with my mind, and I need my mind to create. So it's definitely something you have to find a balance for, but you can make it fun. Like, I write raps with my little girl sometimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
And
it is what it
kids can inspire you too. A lot of the times, having to divide that time, it teaches you character, it teaches you scheduling, and it also puts you on a track and a mind frame where it's like, okay, I have this much time to do this today, but baby girl is gonna need me. And investing that time in her is always a positive thing because it circulates back.
Right.
It gives you the opportunity to actually hands-on influence the generation, but also through your music influence the generation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, upcoming artists, like knowing that you have been doing this for years, 13 projects out, that's a big deal. Like, there are a lot of artists that have been doing this for 15 plus years and are just dropping their third mixtape.
Right.
So knowing that over the course of the last 6 to 8 years, you've actually pushed 13 projects. If you had to give advice to anybody in the younger generation that is looking to be able to accomplish anything close to that, what advice would you give?
I would tell them, be as original as you can be and write music that's comfortable and truthful to you. Like, trying to make stuff for people. Like, I hear a lot of artists like, I want to make a club record. No, just make a record that's you. You know what I'm saying? Be as genuine to you as you can. And work hard. It's not easy. Like, everybody think, oh, I'm going to write a song and it's going to be popping and I'm going to be on. It's not that. It's more like it's politics.
Very much so, very much so. And I'm a firm believer that in a lot of cases it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yes.
So being comfortable in your own music style and then knowing the right people to be able to put that music in the hands of makes all the difference as well. Now, I know that you have a team that's backing you right now, a support system. Management-wise, what label are you under, or what management team are you?
I'm under Global Society Management right now.
Very nice.
Great team, man.
Based in New Orleans?
Yes, based in New Orleans, yeah.
So how did that opportunity kind of present itself with Global Life? How did you guys, did they approach you, or was it just like a neutral thing where you kind of knew each other?
By me putting out so many projects over the years and creating a buzz for myself in New Orleans, it kind of just happened that way. Like, the person heard of me because of what I'm doing and wanted to help me enhance what I was doing.
Very nice.
So that's how we hooked up.
And that's love, to have somebody genuinely support you, but then be willing to guide you in the business aspect.
Yeah.
It makes everything flow a little bit easier for you. It's more of a family-oriented industry at that point in time.
Because you don't want to be the artist, the manager, the promoter.
Right.
You don't want to do all of that.
Try to be the cameraman, booking your own shows, getting everything for your video. It takes the attention away from the music.
Yeah, and it drains you.
Right.
Lyrically, mentally. Yeah, you don't want to have your hands in all those different things.
Very nice. So shout out to Global Society. I know that you guys work hard. I've seen some of the things that you guys are doing over this past year. Now working on a new project.
Yeah.
We believe in exclusives. You don't have to give us the title, but what inspired the new project?
You ever saw the movie Red Tails?
Yes.
So you familiar with the Tuskegee Airmen? And
yes, sir, I am.
That? So that's what inspired my project.
Like, very nice.
The Red Tails were, they were pilots that fought in World War II. So that's the name of my new project called Red Tails. I can tell y'all that.
Yeah, getting these exclusives.
Some young fly black. You know what I'm saying? And we'll bomb on you if we have to.
Now see, I love that, because a lot of children, or even a lot of the people in the younger generations, don't realize how much historical references African Americans play into the history that has been recorded, because our history predates the things that we know.
Right.
But just for what's been recorded at this point in time, I think it's important to continuously replicate information that shows them, hey, we're not just drug dealers, gangbangers, and killers. We do come from a generation that prides themselves on being positive, on defeating the odds, and doing things that, Americans said we weren't able to do.
Yeah, and that's what the Tuskegee Airmen did.
Yeah.
They beat the odds. They were black men that made it into the service, and they were the top airmen.
Right.
They were skilled.
It was also, at one point, one of the captains even made it known, like, they won't be capable of accompanying, creating, and pursuing the things that we have to do in the air.
Right.
And they withstood, they passed all the tests, and they even moved above certain people in rank that they were told that they couldn't.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to hear the project. I'm thinking that it's going to be really, really dope, just with the influence of where the title comes from.
It's going to be real dope. It's going to be real fly, and I stand on that. Like I have my shirts, I have all kind of merchandise and stuff, so I'm branding that.
Gotcha. Now, with your merchandise, do they link into your website for it, or who do they contact directly?
You can go on globalsocietyentertainment.com.
Very nice.
And get some of the merch, or you can hit me directly at on my Instagram, Yung Gwop _Redtail.
There you guys have it. Now, Red Tails, I know it's still in the works. Have you guys kind of set a date or a time frame for when that's going to be releasing, or are you just working on it as it comes?
I don't like to set dates.
That's what I said. You just
you can't plan a perfect picnic.
Right.
You plan a picnic on this day and it rains, so
we got to keep it moving.
I don't want to do that, but it's coming real soon, sooner than Oklahoma.
Very nice. Now, are you thinking features, or is this going to be solo?
I'm going solo dolo on this one. Yeah.
Very nice. I'm excited to hear it. Make sure you give us an exclusive drop before you release it. We'll be able to do the review on it.
Gotcha.
I'm extremely honest. I'll let you guys know if it's worth tuning into.
Right.
But I'm intrigued just off the title. Y'all know I'm a history buff, so I can't wait to hear how it ties in and how it replicates the ideal of strong black men overcoming the odds where society says otherwise. That's a very important picture.
That's what we do. We here. We here, man.
Now, are there any shout outs you'd like to give? Any specific team members that you just want?
Shout out to everybody that support me and love me. There's too many people to name. But shouts out to y'all. Shouts out to all my Red Tails out there. Shouts out to the Night Wall. Shouts out to Harvey, my second home. You know what I'm saying? That's on the West Bank of New Orleans. And, we coming. Global Society.
All day. And I love the management team, Global Society, as well. It kind of introduces the idea of a takeover.
Yeah, we about to take over the globe.
Look, I'm here for it, you guys. Global takeover, New Orleans bound. My boy Yung Gwop is coming through to represent not only the culture of New Orleans, but the ideal that anybody in any aspect, as long as they're confident and they're comfortable, is able to create lasting, authentic music that can be loved and treasured for the generations to come. And that's something that's so important, you guys. Again, go ahead on and tell them one more time where they can tag into your music, where they can follow you on social media, and the website links.
Datpiff.com. You can go. You can also find the music on SoundCloud. Everything is under Yung Gwop. YUNGGWOP. My Instagram is YUNGGWOP_Redtail.
Don't sleep, you guys. Global Society is coming. Yung Gwop did not come to play. Make sure you check out the previous projects. Anytime you can drop 12 mixtapes in 1 year, you guys, you a hard hitter and you come in to show that you did not come to play. Make sure you stay on the lookout for Red Tails. I'm excited for the release of it. We'll bring you more exclusive information. Link in below. Like, subscribe, leave your comments. Let us know if you've listened to any of his music, how you feel about it, what we need to change in regards to our interviews, or if you're looking to be a new contestant or competitor, make sure you hit us up for the showcase. It's your girl Tubbi of the Nerdy Bird site, rocking with theantidote.com, bringing you another exclusive interview, and we're signing out.
You know.